I am R. Nathan and I am the Joint Director in PCRA Chennai. I am a certified energy auditor and energy management system lead auditor. Today, I will present on the performance assessments and various methods to improve the energy performance of the compressed air system. This will surely reduce the energy bill of the client considerably. I have added case studies from energy audits of PCRA and BEE to support the credibility of these technologies. Key takeaways of this webinar will be: we'll discuss about air compressor and its types, about air, performance assessment methods of CAS, and energy conservation techniques in air compressor. On normal quote is there, air is free, but the compressed air is not free. Why? We will be seeing in the next slides. This is the simple diagram about the compressor types. We have two types of compressor generally, positive displacement and dynamic. In dynamic, we have centrifugal and axial compressors. This is used in high flow requirements, and these positive displacement compressors are used in normal flow with high pressure requirements. In this also there are many types. One is reciprocating and rotary. In rotary, we have a screw compressor. When we speak about the compressed air system, we are concentrating on the high pressure requirement compressors. So in that we use normally reciprocating compressors and screw. The screw compressors are taking over the reciprocating compressor in numbers nowadays. So we majorly talk about the compressors during this webinar. This is a slide on compressed air energy use as a percentage of total energy use. If you see, the chemical industries use almost 28% of their total energy for compressed air system. Why to care about air? Why to care about air? See, if you see the compressor operation, if you give 100 kilowatt of power, the mechanical losses will be 5% and heat of compression will be 80%. So the useful output will be 15%. Useful output in the form of pressurized air. In that also, industries used to waste in the form of leakages and artificial demand and other and misusing the compressed air. So almost 50% is in that also. So only the 50% remaining air is being used for process. So we can say that only 7.5% of the input energy is actually being used by the industries. So this is the life cycle cost of a compressor. If you see that initial cost percentage and maintenance cost will be 5%. This is for 20-year life cycle cost. And the energy cost will be remaining 90%. Initial assessment tools for for compressed air system. If we are about to audit any industry and that to compressed air system, what are the things we have to take note and what we have to do, that we will be discussing. So to make an accurate determination of energy saving solutions, it is important to measure the below parameters. One is a compressor flow and the total flow as well, because there may be more than one compressor also in place, and kilowatt consumption and pressure at various points. This we will discuss in pressure profile slide, and the inlet temperature of the air and humidity of the air. Tools used for evaluation are: one is a block diagram, Second, pressure profile of the air. And these are the performance tests we have to conduct for knowing the efficiency of the energy efficiency of the compressed air system. One is a capacity assessment test. We call it a FAT, free air delivery test. That is for calculating the volumetric efficiency of the compressor. Second important test is leakage test to calculate the leakage exists in the compressor. Third is a specific energy consumption calculation, kilowatt per CFM, power divided by flow. This is calculated for creating a baseline benchmarking. Because we are going to audit and we will do some modifications necessary, thereby improving the energy efficiency. How can we know that whether the energy efficiency improved or not? By comparing with the baseline. So initially we have to take this data. We will discuss. This is about the block diagram. Whenever we go for any industry for compressed air audit, we prepare a block diagram which consists of various equipments in the system, and the demand side also we specify what are the demands and what pressure we will specify. If we do this, half of the job is done. The second tool is pressure profile. If you see the compressed air, if this is the compressor outlet, a 110 psi, it is almost to 7 bar. If you create a pressure profile of in any industry, it will be like this. The after dry air and filter, those pressure drops will be there. So from 110, it comes to 90 discharge of the filter. And after that, it goes to pipeline, reservoir and pipeline system. The piping has a pressure drop because of friction and various fittings and valves. So the pressure drop will be 85 psi. Finally, after the hose valve, it reaches to 70. See, you are creating a compressed air at 110 psi, but delivering at demand side delivery pressure will be 70 psi. See, naturally it is happening. So we have by creating this pressure profile, we can understand what are the equipments creating unnecessarily high pressure drop. So these are the tools. We have discussed two tools. Now we will see what are the assessment we have to do to evaluate the performance. First assessment is a free air delivery of the compressor. To do, I will tell this is the formula P2 minus P1 divided P0. It's an atmospheric pressure. This is a final pressure. P1 is initial pressure. This is the volume of pipeline and receiver tank. This is the time taken in minutes. I will tell you how to do. This is the compressor. Here dryer will be there. Then receiver tank. What we have to do? We have to isolate the exit valve of the receiver tank. This valve and this valve both has to be in closed condition. We have to open this drain valve and empty the full piping and receiver pressure to 0, equal to atmospheric pressure. Then we have to start the compressor and a timer using a stopwatch. What will happen? The compressor will start running and it will start increase. The pressure also will increase in the pipeline and receiver. So if suppose the operating point is 7 bar, it will reach the 7 bar, then the compressor will trip automatically. Means unload, it will go to unload. So the time taken to reach from 0 to 7 bar is this time. It is taken in minutes. The volume is a better volume of the receiver and the piping. Volume the air is filling. So the calculation is like P0 is a atmospheric pressure and P2 is the final pressure 7 bar and P1 will be again 0. So if you apply this formula, we will get the actual capacity flow of the compressor. This T1 is a initial temperature and a final temperature. The reason is we have to do a temperature correction because temperature also plays a major role in compressor. So T1 is a inlet temperature. It will be in 40 degrees Celsius approximately. Then T2 is a final temperature that may be in 80 degrees Celsius. So if you use this formula, we will get a flow capacity of the compressor. Purpose of calculating that, the purpose is like we can compare with the design flow. Suppose the design compressor is designed for a 500 CFM. But if you calculate the FAD using FAD test, if it comes like a 450 CFM, then we can know that some, because clearance, increase in clearance and various reasons, the performance has deteriorated. So we can think of overhauling this compressor. And more than that, another purpose is, if we have a multiple compressors, 4 or 5 compressors of same capacity, we will calculate each capacity's FAD, and from FAD we can calculate the volumetric efficiency. Which compressor has a good volumetric efficiency that can be used in for future usages, so that the energy can be saved. Second performance assessment is a leakage percentage calculation. The leakage percentage formula is a total T divided by total time. T is a loading time. This is a loading plus unloading time. So how to do? This is the whole system, means compressor, receiver, dryer, everything is there with the piping and the end usage. We have to open up all the valves, and means pressure shall be available till the end use. We have to close these end use valves, means we should not be consuming any equipment. We should not be consuming the air in process. Now we have to start the compressor, and what compressor will do? Compressor will increase the pressure to 7 bar and go to cutoff pressure like 6 bar. After some time, it will be like this. Up down will be there. So this is a loading. This is a T, and this is a small t, unload time. So this time has to be in top, and the total time shall be in the bottom. Multiply by 100, it will give a leakage percentage. If you multiply the leakage percentage with the flow, which we have calculated in the FAD test, it will give a leakage quantity. For example, we have done a leakage test, and it comes that 20% leakage is found in the compressed air system, 500 CFM. So the leakage quantity will be 100 CFM will be leakage quantity. So we have to calculate how much energy we are wasting due to leakage. Its formula is the leakage quantity multiplied by power which we have to measure using a power analyzer, multiplied by operating hour, which will give a kilowatt hour. This can be converted into energy cost by multiplying with the energy. Third assessment is a baseline creation. The formula is a cost. We have to calculate the rupees, how much cost is incurred for creating a 1 meter cube of compressed air. The formula is input power multiplied by energy cost for that industry divided by flow of the compressor. Flow of the compressor we have calculated earlier. Input power we have to calculate using a power analyzer. This is the simple formula, which will give a rupees per meter cube. Sample is available for a capacity of 30 meter cube per minute compressor with input power was 180 kilowatt. The calculated cost of 1 meter cube of compressed air is rupees 0.7. So the purpose of calculating is that this is a baseline. After doing various methods and various improvement strategies, we have to again calculate so that it should come down, so that we can have a comparison. So that's all, friends. Thank you for your time. This is my email ID. You can have a You can email me for any doubts. I'll try to address your queries.